Becky Lynch to make special appearance as WWE hiatus continues. It's been 314 days since Becky Lynch last appeared on WWE television, and there appears to be no end to her hiatus in sight. Back in May 2024, the man bowed out after a defeat to Liv Morgan on Raw and subsequently allowed her contract to expire. Since then, the star has been working on a series of non-wrestling projects while enjoying more time with her young daughter. But that hasn't stopped speculation on her wrestling future. In January, it was reported that Becky Lynch had agreed to a new WWE contract, sparking increased chatter online that she would be back in the fold for WrestleMania. However, that hasn't proven to be the case. Even so, as recently as mid-March it was reported that pitches were still being made for her return. Becky Lynch confirmed for the Ultimate Improv Show. Meanwhile, it's been announced that Lynch will appear at the Ultimate Improv Show hosted by Dan.Back. The event is set to take place on April 11th, and tickets are available now. In a recent interview, Seth Rollins insisted that Becky Lynch isn't retired, despite her lengthy absence. He explained that she's been working on some TV projects, but is gearing up to get ready to get back in the ring. Becky Lynch announced for Improv Show on April 11th. Becky Lynch has been announced for the Ultimate Improv Show on April 11th. Lynch is listed as the guest monologist for the show, which features Dan.Back, Bobby Moynihan, Paul Scheer, Lisa Gilroy and more. The show takes at Dynasty Typewriter in California, but online viewing is noted. Becky Lynch hasn't wrestled since losing a cage match to Liv Morgan on the May 27, 2024 episode of WWE Raw. While she's been away from the ring, she's kept busy in Hollywood, filming for Happy Gilmore 2, and more. Trish Stratus looks back on her steel cage match with Becky Lynch. WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus appeared on WWE Retrospective to discuss various topics, including her steel cage match with Becky Lynch at Payback 2023. Stratus said, "What an experience. That opportunity would have never came my way back in the day when we were wrestling. So to be able to have that cage match was very special. To be able to have that cage match with Becky Lynch after this great 6-month storyline, just to have a 6-month storyline alone is something special. Knowing we've told the story for so long, it was getting to the point where we're like, this has to pay off big. So we knew that it needed to end up in a cage. There was no way it couldn't end up in a cage with her and I where we were at. So it was great. I love the storytelling in it. I love how invested the fans were right to the end of our rivalry." Becky Lynch next appearance announced amid WWE absence. Becky Lynch's next appearance has now been announced amid her ongoing 10-month absence from WWE television. It has been over 10 months since former Women's World Champion Becky Lynch last appeared on WWE television, with her losing a Women's World Championship steel cage match to Liv Morgan back on May 27 in her final appearance. Becky became a free agent on June 1 after her contract expired, though those within the company noted that they did expect her to return to the company when the time came. Since then, there has been a lot of speculation about when Becky would return to WWE television, with her reportedly having signed a new contract with the company last year ahead of Raw's move to Netflix, but Becky is still yet to reappear on WWE television. Amid Becky's absence, her next public appearance has now been announced, with her set for the upcoming Ultimate Improv Show on April 11th. Becky is listed as the guest monologist for the event, which is taking place at the Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles, though online viewing is also available. Becky has taken up numerous other roles during her time away from the ring, including upcoming roles in Star Trek Starfleet Academy and Happy Gilmore 2. Becky became a free agent on June 1 after her contract expired, though those within the company noted that they did expect her to return to the company when the time came. Since then, there has been a lot of speculation about when Becky would return to WWE television, with her reportedly having signed a new contract with the company last year ahead of Raw's move to Netflix, but Becky is still yet to reappear on WWE television. Amid Becky's absence, her next public appearance has now been announced, with her set for the upcoming Ultimate Improv Show on April 11th. Becky is listed as the guest monologist for the event, which is taking place at the Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles, though online viewing is also available. Becky has taken up numerous other roles during her time away from the ring, including upcoming roles in Star Trek Starfleet Academy and Happy Gilmore 2. Becky Lynch public appearance announced amid WWE hiatus. Former WWE Women's Champion Becky Lynch will appear at an improv show next weekend.
How WWE should book Becky Lynch's return. It has been 9 months since we last saw Becky Lynch in WWE. Her last appearance was on Monday Night Raw back in May 2024, in a steel cage match against Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. With so much uncertainty surrounding her contract and future with the company, she decided to take some time off. Prior to taking time off, Lynch enjoyed a 32-day reign as the Women's World Champion after the title was vacated due to Rhea Ripley's shoulder injury. She was on another incredible run before we lost her for nearly a year. She was expected to return for Raw's debut on Netflix, but it has changed, and we haven't heard anything since. Then, she was expected to be a surprise entrant at the Royal Rumble, but she didn't return there either. It is likely that Lynch won't return to the company prior to WrestleMania 41. There were rumors of her returning earlier in the year that were also said to be untrue. It is clear that Lynch has re-signed a new contract with WWE. So, where has she been all of this time? In a recent interview with New York's WFAN station, her husband, Seth Rollins, commented on her not being retired and her impending return. During her time off, as Rollins alluded to, Lynch entered the entertainment world in a new way with her role in Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Also, with Rollins' hectic travel schedule, she was spending some time at home with their daughter. With so much occurring in the women's division while she's been out, it is likely that both her and WWE Creative want to make sure the vision is right for her when she does return. There are now 2 new women's mid-card titles on both SmackDown and Raw. It creates all sorts of opportunities for Lynch when she finally comes back. Since it has been nearly a year since her last appearance on WWE television, the best time to bring her back would either be WrestleMania 41 or SummerSlam. Although some of the women's divisions are thriving, it still feels like there's some star power missing. As a 5-time Women's World Champion, and 2-time WWE Women's Champion, Lynch is a huge missing piece for the division. While the sooner she is brought back, the better. If you're WWE, there's no way you want it to feel rushed either. A return at WrestleMania 41 after the conclusion of the Women's World Championship match would receive a huge pop from the crowd in Las Vegas. That event will likely be a triple threat between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Ripley, and what better ending than a face-off between the winner and Lynch. Booking Becky Lynch's WWE return logically, the most fitting way to book Lynch's return would be to revisit her feud with Morgan. Given she was the last one to defeat her and brag about retiring, Morgan has to be the first on Lynch's hit list. Much of the hate for Charlotte Flair is when she misses time and comes back and instantly receives a title shot. WWE doesn't want to create the same friction with Lynch, as she is arguably one of the biggest babyfaces in their division. Let her come back and finish off Morgan in the Judgment Day once and for all. Once she finishes her business with Morgan, she can move on to some championship gold once again. Whether she gets drafted to SmackDown for a fresh start at the WWE draft, or she stays on Raw, there are now 4 women's singles titles. Lyra Valkyria and Lynch have a bit of history on WWE NXT, when Valkyria defeated Lynch to become the NXT Women's Champion at Halloween Havoc back in 2023. Perhaps the 2 Irish-born women will revisit their feud and give us another fantastic match. She would also be a great option to dethrone Chelsea Green for the Women's United States Championship. The women's WWE mid-card titles could both use some prestige, and putting the belt on a future Hall of Famer like Lynch would be a great way to lift the title's prestige. Seth Rollins confirms Becky Lynch will return to WWE. Becky Lynch has been absent from WWE television since May 2024, taking time off to pursue Hollywood projects. However, despite her hiatus, fans continue to anticipate her return, as she remains under contract with WWE. During an interview with WFAN, Lynch's husband, Seth Rollins, addressed her WWE future, confirming that she will be back, though no exact return date has been set. She took a few months off. She did some television projects, and so she's gearing up to get ready to come back. Don't know when that's going to happen just yet, but I mean, she is active, yes. I will not say she is retired. She's not mentioned anything about retirement. There are future plans for her in professional wrestling. With Lynch still in WWE's long-term plans, the time